How do we overcome low inventory and high interest rates in 2025? This is the topic for today's video. I hope you join me. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for coming and finding me. And if you're old to the channel, thank you as well. And hopefully you subscribe. Stay tuned to today's video if you would. All right, today's topic is twofold: how to overcome low inventory and how to overcome high interest rates. So first and foremost, the inventory. It's our job as realtors to help create the inventory, help create options and opportunities for our clients, and not just sitting back and waiting for the computer to do all the work. I would say the first step in overcoming low inventory is get with a really prized hyper-local agent that has a really strong reputation in town. And whether you're in Sarasota or in another location, obviously Sarasota market, I'd love for you to call on me. Once you're fully engaged with your realtor by way of signing your buyer broker agreement, that agent is now going to understand like you have some loyalty toward the realtor and vice versa. So the realtor is going to do things that are a little bit maybe unconventional, like go knock on doors. Like if I know you love a neighborhood, but there's nothing for sale in that neighborhood that fits your needs, or you've looked at everything with me, I will literally go and knock on the doors of the properties that are best suited for you in that neighborhood or neighborhoods like it. And that is a very strategic move. If you have that loyalty with someone, they're going to do that extra step to find the right property for you. Number two, new construction. The new construction usually, at least in this market, is listed in the MLS, but most of it's not. So they'll give you like a sample model and put it in the MLS, and they have several others or variations thereof. So it's not reflective of the total available new construction inventory that's available for a buyer. We've got what's called the builder update. And so through that, we can learn more about what they might have upcoming. It's like shadow inventory. So that's another avenue. Number three, because we have what's called MLS compliance, once we start talking about a piece of property, specifically an address, we have to put it into the MLS within 2 business days. So we have a 2-day window of selling properties within my office. If I don't have a listing personally that's fitting to my buyers, but I have a colleague in the office who does, that comes through our exclusive look and first to know private group platforms within the Coldwell brand. So in other words, as soon as I have a listing agreement signed, I'm going to be posting on these private platforms. And that gives you the reach that you need. It touches the agents who have the buyers like myself. And I'd be like, oh, I'm on the lookout for this X, Y, and Z type property. Likewise, I can post like wants and needs to our private platforms. And you just never know, because you put those feelers out and you never know what could come of it. As you know, we're networking constantly, and that's why you need a full-time realtor, okay? Because a part-time realtor is not going to have time to do all these things. They're just not enough hours in a day. If they're out driving Uber, listen, God bless you for just doing what you got to do for the family, but you need a full-time realtor. Like it's not 2020 anymore. Anybody with a pulse literally could sell real estate. It is not the real estate game here in 2024. As I film my first video actually for 2025, but you know, going above and beyond takes time, effort, and knowledge. And you know, I would say last but not least, tapping into my database. Like I have a huge database of 23 years where I can tap into past clients, local business people. I can put feelers out among all these people through my newsletter, through my snail mail, through my advertising, social media. It's amazing the reach that you have once you build upon a business of that many years, that things just kind of come together. You can put buyers with sellers so much easier, double dip, put the seller with the buyer, and so on. So I would say that would be the final, and I'm sure I can come up with others. But before I go back to the second topic, which is how to combat high interest rates, I did want to regroup a little because it's this new year, you know, 2025. And I created this channel. When I thought of the name for the channel, Get Sarasota Real Estate Fit with Shayla Twitt, You know, fitness is a big part of my life, and I'm one of those people that gets up very early, 3:30. I have my coffee, I wake up, I get to the gym. And why am I telling you this? Because I think that people that show up at the gym and they're there at 5 o'clock every morning, day in and day out, it's a discipline thing. Like, you could be motivated in life and you could be excited and have a goal written out, but if you don't do anything about it on the regular, you don't have the discipline. And someone who is physically fit, they work out, they care about their health, they're disciplined about it, they show up for themselves every morning, that's generally a person that's going to show up for you. I personally believe that, you know, if you take care of yourself, your body, your mind, and your spirit first, you can help everybody at a really high level, a very high intense level, because this real estate business can be very intense and it can be complicated, challenging, and we always have to pivot. Things are changing all around us all the time. Not much is in our control. So if you can control that and you can hone in on your health, keep your mind right, I think that the fit part of the channel, the title of the channel, fits into all the videos, although I don't talk about it much. But if you're on my social media, you do see that I post about my fitness journey. I did do one show. It was way back in the day, bikini, and I had a trainer. I trained for 2 months, and you know, I was one and done. I did one show, and then I said that's a goal, and I'm going to move on and just maintain a healthy lifestyle. That's really the point. Healthy mind, healthy body. Tackle everything that comes at me during the day, and there's so much. Some days are just more challenging than others, of course, like life. But I digress. And before I forget, and I'll move on. Thank you again for subscribing and watching the channel, commenting, you guys. It means a lot to me. And ultimately, I want to hear from you. And maybe you know someone that wants to purchase or sell real estate in the Tri-County area. I work a very large area. It's Manatee, Sarasota, and Charlotte counties. If you look at the map, it's a very large area, specializing in this beautiful waterfront here, waterfront luxury real estate. But I help everybody from Sarasota to Mayaca to Lakewood Ranch, land, you name it, call me. Anyway, we'll end the video on the high interest rate. So high interest rate is more, it's not about the interest rate, it's about the payment, right? It's like, just because you can afford a payment doesn't mean you want to. And just because you can, you might have to change your lifestyle a little bit to feel better about buying a house. I mean, you definitely don't want to be house poor. So it's definitely more the payment, right? And so there are some things that we can do here. Number one, if you do buy new construction, the builders' incentives are insane right now, because inventory here is actually going up, and the new construction helps offset that. And they have some insane deals, including buying down the interest rates. Now, the buy down is somewhat of a temporary fix, because you'll have the rate lower the first year, it'll slowly rise the second and the third year, and so on. But it is a solution, although temporary. Now, you can get other incentives from the seller. You can ask, if it's a resale property, you can ask the seller to contribute or pay toward that to put the deal together. You know, of course, another option is refinancing, but I always say refinancing with a caveat, because we don't know if and when the rates will go down, and there's nobody that can promise you. It's like this whole outlier of, you know, what may or may not happen. I mean, the sky could fall tomorrow, we don't know, so we don't know. But you could secure the price on the home and get a lower price on the home and build that into your negotiation, saying, because the rates are high, I'm paying this price. And with the idea of refinancing down the road. Meanwhile, you're building equity, right? So the best time to buy a house was what, 10 years ago? So meanwhile, you're building equity, you're making memories. And if it's a rental property, you're offsetting, you've got all these write-offs for taxes, which is amazing. And let's face it, I mean, if you look at properties from 10 years ago, you're like, well, I wish I would have kept it, or I wish I would have bought then, or whatever. That's what everybody normally says. So, you know, I would say secure the property at the lower price. Don't be so stuck on the interest rate. Well, I'm down here at the Sarasota Bayfront. I hope that this video helped a little bit, but I have some really great lender resources too, like preferred lenders I've known and worked with for many, many years that I trust, that have helped me personally and countless clients. They're always the first go-to in terms of financing, all things financing. So I would always start you there to run the numbers that are very accurate to you and your situation. And then outside of that, I'd be happy to have a consultation with you if you're thinking of selling or purchasing here in the Sarasota area. Again, I've been doing this a long time. I've been through many markets, and that means I'm old, okay? I don't know if you see, but there are gray hairs coming in here. This is my natural hair, but there's definitely grays. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful start to 2025. May it be prosperous. May you be healthy. Everything happy, all good vibes. And I'd love to hear from you. 941-544-7690. You can call or text that number or email shaylatwit@gmail.com.